Hello everyone and welcome to the February edition of Price Know-How Snippets. I'm joined today by Mike Boswell, our Managing Director, and Ian Chisnell, our Product Manager for Polyolefins and Sustainability. As usual, Mike's going to start us off by talking about some of the fundamental factors that are likely to impact the markets this month. Over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Catherine. Well, there's actually a bit more to talk about this month compared to December. We've seen some price action, both in terms of oil prices and exchange rates, actually. So let's run through both of those. So in terms of oil price, in December, the average price was $73.04 a barrel. That went up to $78.15 in January. The minimum went up from 71.12 to 75.93. Again, an increase of around about $5 per barrel. And the maximum went from 74.64 to 82.03, an increase of $7.39. You put that in pounds per tonne, then it was £453.43 per tonne. It's now gone up to £476.61. That's an increase of £41.18. I'm sure that's going to feed into what Ian's going to say about feedstocks. In terms of exchange rates, we actually saw a situation with, there's kind of two things going on. It was a slightly weakening pound and a slightly strengthening dollar. So against the euro, the pound fell from 121 to 119. Against the dollar, it fell from 126 to 124. So that's going to bring some upward price pressure, both in terms of feedstocks, which are priced in euros, and also imports, particularly polyethylene from the US, which are priced in dollars. So with that, I'm going to hand it to Ian, who's going to talk to us more about what's happening with feedstocks and what may be happening with polymers.
Many thanks, Mike. So also a little bit more to talk about this month, particularly when it comes to feedstocks, because we had a late settlement, and relatively speaking, quite a late settlement. So propylene was agreed on Tuesday the 4th in the morning, and ethylene was agreed in the afternoon. I spoke to a propylene buyer earlier today who basically explained that the reason for the delay was that there was a big disagreement between the buyers and the sellers. So the buyers were looking on propylene, looking to pay about €45 a tonne, and the sellers were looking for 80. So the producers of monomers in Europe are just complaining a lot about increased costs, that it's getting more and more expensive to produce monomers in Europe. And it's interesting to note that we had a couple of cracker closures last year. We've had Dow announce that they're going to idle one of their crackers very soon. And what worries me a little bit about this is one of their very relatively new crackers. It's only about 10, 12 years old, cracker 3 at their Terneuzen site. So the European petrochemicals industry continues to be in quite a dynamic state in terms of people looking at where they can make savings and how they can sort of manage the supply demand of the market. But ultimately, monomers did increase. So propylene increased by €52.5 per metric ton, going up to €1,127.5 per metric ton. Ethylene increased by €55 a ton, increasing to €1,260 per metric ton. It's still a little bit unclear as to what's going to happen with polymer prices, but it's very, very clear that there's going to be an increase. And it's going to range from somewhere between monomer to monomer plus potentially €100. And it's going to vary a lot depending on the position that the supplier takes. Some are looking for just monomer because they're looking to improve their market share. Others are looking for a significant monomer plus because they're looking to improve their margins. Last year, sort of particularly quarter 4 in 2024, it was very, very tough for the producers in Europe. They were consistently selling at a loss, and a lot of them are trying to talk about the fact that they can't continue to do this, so they're looking to restore some margin. We'll have probably a better idea end of this week, early next week, as to where the true picture lies, possibly somewhere in the middle, with increases in the region of around about 70, 80, €90 a tonne. But we'll have more information for you a little bit later on in the month.
Thanks very much, Ian, and thank you, Mike. Really insightful, lots to talk about this month. And as Ian said, there'll be more information in the full edition around the middle of the month. But in the meantime, if you do have any questions, then please speak to your customer service team or indeed Ian, Mike, or I. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.